Look, I try to be nice to people. I think it's very easy every day to come in with all the pressures we have at work and really look stressed, really walk straight to your office, go about doing what you're doing. You have a minute, you have 30 seconds, you can say hello to somebody you pass in, you can ask about their family, you can ask about how their weekend was. If you can do that, I think I try to do that as much as I can. I think it's important because people do connect with you, they do see you as a human being. Today, if you look at a generation of people that we're working with and the millennials, they want to engage with you, they want to talk to you. And even if it means 10 seconds of, a chit chat, how you doing, how things go in your career, I think it does go a long way. People do recognize it, they do remember it. Change is good. It's interesting. At the time when you're experiencing change, you don't think it's that good. I mean, I can personally say that I've experienced a lot of change in my life. I've lived, in terms of my career, I've lived in Switzerland for the firm, I've lived in London, and now I have a current assignment in Bangalore in India as the CEO for the office there. But the way I go about making these decisions with change, in general, not only my personal life, but my professional life, is to start thinking about what are all the positive things that come out of the change, what it has to offer me. Think about what the new experiences can bring in terms of my personal development, in terms of my career development. Would it give me an opportunity to impact a different community? If you start to think about change and all the things that it's going to affect you first, then chances are you probably wouldn't make that decision, because there's so much things that, me growing up in New York City, that I'm attached to, my community, my friends, the clubs, that I play for in sport. If I start to think about all the things that I'm going to be missing out on, there's no way I'm leaving. So sometimes you have to look at the forward and think about what are things you can get, how new experience is going to enhance your life and your career and your family, and longer term impact that you can make. And if you start to look at that first, then it starts to seem much better in terms of the opportunity for change. One thing I can change in the world, I think it all starts with education. I found that was important for me growing up in the Bronx. Education, my opportunity to go to college and get a good education was the catalyst of my career, and I think that the catalyst for every young person's career. Everybody said I'd like to have a good education, but it's not accessible to me. So how do we make a good quality education more accessible for the people, who has the potential? And most people do have the potential, sometimes they don't have the access. So, how do we make that more accessible? And again, today, in the technology world, do you really have to go to the best schools to get the best education? Is there a way, if I'm sitting in a rural part of the country, or I'm sitting in a third world country, I have YouTube, I have the internet, can I learn? Is there a way in which we can connect with people to give them that skill set to really leapfrog them into the education world? I think that's something that I think is really, really important, is going to be really important. I think I would like to be part of that, but if I'm not part of that, I think it's going to happen sooner or later.